Why has Caroline and myself been coming back to Berny-Rivière so often in the last 25 years? That's the question we want to answer for you today, folks, and I'm sure that just the view behind me is going to help you to understand why we keep coming back time and time again. But there's so much more. Some of the town, some of the site here with all of the beautiful lakes and the rest, and tell you a little of our history here and the history of the location. So let's get on, and we're going to start in the dark. One of the reasons we love Berny is because it really knows how to celebrate, even in the dark. As we're making our way across through the village over to the fair and the fireworks, we're just passing somewhere we always visit, and we visited on a previous occasion with you all, but thought I'd just see if the church comes out on the camera as beautiful as it looks to us in the night time.
Oh look, it's late in the night and this little snail's going for a walk up the railings. He's trying to break in. He knows what's going on the other side of the fence. It sounds like fun.
Well, we're getting closer to all the action, and when we get up there, it's going to be so loud we won't be able to talk to you. But we're hoping to share some of the images of Berny-Rivière partying in September at about 25 degrees, and it's 9:30 in the night. You can't beat that, folks. Let's go see what's happening. Well, we had a great time last night up at the fireworks. The word fantastic for me just doesn't cover it. What an incredible display. All credit a tiny little petite village that's punching way above its weight, because the people of the village and the officials there, the mayor and others, are doing a fantastic job. And it helps to explain why we love this place so much and why we keep coming back. But of course, it's not over, because Saturday night was firework night, but now we're back up to the village to have a look what's going on Sunday. Here we are today in the bright sunshine, and it's a brocante. Yes, only a small brocante because it's only a small village, but always worth a look. And we're just enjoying sharing Berny-Rivière with you, because this is where we've come so often in the last 25 years. Spent our holidays here, and we've fallen in love with this village and the town of Berny-Rivière just next door. very small brocante and later in the day. But nice to look around. Always enjoy a rummage. And that little town is doing a cracking job. Well, I'm going to get back into the caravan now, just to have a little bit of shade and enjoy the aircon, have a nice bit of refreshment, and then perhaps later we'll take you for a walk around the park here and show you just what delights we have here and why we keep coming back. We're at the top lake. This is the newest of the lakes here, and it's an opportunity to just show you something else that we love about Berny, and that is they don't squash everyone in. They don't try and use every inch of space for accommodation, from tents to static caravans of all shapes and sizes, to people who bring their own tourers, and of course the motorhomes. But they give everyone that sense of openness, and there's no better example of that than the units behind us that look right out across this lake. But wherever you are on this park, you never feel hemmed in. You never feel that if you step out the door you're going to bump into someone. They give you lovely bit of land. You can go out there, you can enjoy, you can lie in the sun if it's sunny. But I should say that whilst our filming has been done in the sunshine and our view from our veranda looks glorious on a warm sunny day, there are those occasions when it rains. Yes indeed, and when it rains here in Berny-Rivière, it really rains. Not many people on the crazy golf when the rain comes down, or on the beach, but they've still got the restaurants, they've still got the indoor swimming pool and other facilities, but I bet they get busy when there's a downpour. But as I say, we love not just the space outside our unit, but the space as we walk along, because the flower beds, the trees, the lawns, the lakes, it's just idyllic.
It's a beautiful sunny day here in France, but the indicators are there. Autumn is on its way. You can see these leaves are starting to darken. Look at this car. It's only been parked overnight and it's starting to get covered in leaves as they're starting to fall from the trees. You know what that means? Christmas is on the way. I love these pictures.
Morning.
You could bring yourself a touring caravan down here or a tent. You get to stay on this plot, but look at this. You get what they call the barbecues, and it's a shed. Phil's found somebody to talk to again, so that's why you can hear chatting in the background. Phil always finds somebody to talk to. And then in here, this is where you can have your barbecue, and you've got a chimney. Okay, you know the rules. We've got to look up and see if we can see the sky. Yep, there it is. And if it rains, you're fine. You haven't got to worry about an umbrella, because look at that roof. Now they are a little bit tired compared to what they were like in their glory years, but they're still great fun. And if you've got children, can you imagine the fun they would have somewhere like this? I love it. I'd like this in my garden. I don't think Phil's up to building something quite this big though. Look at your view. There's the river. And opposite you've got some bigger caravans, or I think in the US you call them trailers. And there's Phil chatting away. And over here are a different style. And you can see there they've got little buildings. They look like little hobbit homes, don't they? Let's have a look. You can't get in this one. I take it it's not really very safe inside. But they're great if you camp in and it's very rainy. And look at the cute little window. Very much like a hobbit home. Oh, we can see in a bit better from this side. There you go. Nothing exciting to see. Just a little building. Look at this weeping willow. So happy by the side of the river. But what I love about weeping willows, not only are the downward facing branches, but I love the bark. Look at that. Oh, it's so tactile and it's so deep. All the little indentations. And it's even got a little bit of ivy. Look at that. Thinking, oh, I'll be picturesque and adorn myself in some ivy just to make myself even more glamorous. And look at that twist. I love that. Starts to do a little bit of a wiggle dance. I do miss being able to go in the house grounds there. There was a folly and there was a boathouse, and you could go right down and see where they launched their boats into this river, which is the River Ain. Look at that. It's quite clear. You can see lots of fish normally, but because I'm talking, they've all swam away. But it's a brilliant place to fish, and quite often you hear boop, 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 boop. And it's one of the big barges travelling down the river to Paris to pick up goods to take all the way back and to around the country for different things, to the ports, to the factories for supplies. And we get to see them, and it looks very relaxing. Look at that sky. Oh, I just love it.
Caroline and I have been coming here for a quarter of a century, and we've seen some change during that time. Originally, and for the first decade or more, we were able to walk through here right along the river, all the way down to the town, which was beautiful. These days, up above me the sign says, no entry, private property, because lots of changes have happened, not only physically but also in the business side, in as much as the ownership and the management have changed over, so the big house is no longer as much a part of the day-to-day running. We used to be able to walk in the grounds behind this wall, and it was from here that it all began. Not 25 years ago, no, nearer 100 years ago. Because while today we enjoy looking at the river, which stretches all the way along the campsite to the far end and beyond, back in the day, of course, water was the source of power, and the sugar factory that stood here provided income and employment for the town. But it was destroyed, and the owners of the land, rather than return to industry, moved into leisure, and they began this end to build, and the building continued and continued. When we first came here, one lake, beautiful lake. You can see by the mature trees around it how long it has stood there. And we used to take our children out on the canoe and have great times. Now you can get splash cats, but they will cost you quite a few euro to have a ride, but they are beautiful. But the fishermen are still there catching their carp. Then there's another lake which is surrounded by sand, where throughout the sunny days the children come and play with their families. Then there's another lake and another lake for the fishermen again, which also provide beautiful views. So this place is continually developed. There's even an underpass that takes you to the other side of the road, where there are hundreds more units for families to stay in. So it's grown. But the one thing that has stayed similar throughout that time is the surroundings, the peace of the river, the beauty of the town, the simplicity of getting a baguette and making our lunch. And those things we treasure. That's why we keep coming back. But of course, as well as being here, enjoying the luxury, we also need our supplies. So that means we need to go shopping.
All I want
one thing that's very important when you're on a vacation is somewhere to pick up the supplies. Especially with all the heat we're having, we need plenty of fluids and the occasional ice cream. And that's not a problem at Berny-Rivière. Admittedly, the Intermarché is no longer where it once was. It was, for us anyway, walking distance. We were quite happy to take the 10-minute walk over to the Intermarché and pick up our supplies. But these days, got to jump in the car because it's just a couple of kilometers away. Just a few minute drive, and it's a much bigger store. So there's a lot more choice. So we're going to get in there and see what they've got for us to choose today, so we can stock up on those supplies and make sure we've got plenty to last the holiday.
Ooh, look at that. Nom, 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 nom. Nom, 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 nom. Sense a theme here. If it's sweet, if it's cake, I want it.
If we don't need cake, we need a baguette.
Oh.
Well, we certainly got some treats in there, and now it's a short drive back to get that ice cream in the freezer. Well, maybe not all of it. See you back at home. Well, here we are, back at the caravan, with the glorious beach behind us around the lake, and the rewards of our endeavours down at the supermarket, or the Intermarché. This is the strawberry and white chocolate flavour. Well, I'm sure I'm going to enjoy this. I've certainly enjoyed the tour that we've done, sharing with you the village, the shops, the campsite. Hope you've enjoyed it too. If you have, please give us a thumbs up.
Doing, doing, doing.
And don't forget, till the next time, have fun. Bye.
Bye.